Okay, so the first question is, have you ever been discriminated against or seen it happen?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Can you elaborate?
What setting? I mean, it's happened when I've gone into the mall and gone into stores. It's happened just walking around as a group of African Americans. Like,
Okay. Can we do like your first instance? Do you remember like the first time?
I'll say the first time was probably because my grandmother, she would watch, like she was our daycare provider for my dad and his siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always like 6 to 8 of us as cousins growing up, and my grandmother would watch us all. And I'll probably say she took us to like J.C. Penney's or Sears because she was going shopping for us for back to school or something. And I remember like workers watching us and following where we were and seeing stuff we picked up and put back down, and like we all felt a little uneasy, but we didn't know what it was until we told our grandmother, like, hey, this worker's been following us or something. And then that's when she like had to sit us down and explain why that occurred. And to me, it's like you shouldn't have to sit down a 6 or 7 year old and explain that they're going to be treated different because they look different.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So, what was the age or race of like the discriminator? Do you remember?
I mean, Caucasian and...
Have you seen like a commonality?
Yeah.
Caucasian and like any specific age?
Probably from 20s on up. Like,
okay.
It's not a specific age. I just feel like it's just seems to happen that way. Okay. I mean, and it's not even just Caucasian. Sometimes it can be Middle Easterns, especially if you're like a corner store. I know when I was in undergrad in California, everybody would go to a certain corner store and he would get robbed sometimes, 7-Eleven or something. Mm-hmm. And so they would definitely watch us a lot closer than they would watch, and especially if it was a group of people. And I can get that just because it's colleges. You know that people are stealing from your store. You're trying to protect yourself and what you own, your business. So I could see why they would do it, but then sometimes it was just like, you've seen us in here numerous times. You know we don't take anything, right. So why are you?
So it never got any better, really?
No.
So like on the other side of it, how do you think we can fight against stereotypes and discrimination?
It's all about educating people and doing it in a way to where we're not just teaching what's in the books, but we're actually teaching what is going on at home. So it starts with like families, but a lot of people feel some certain way, so they're going to teach their kids how they feel, and by nature, their kids are going to, unfortunately, probably feel the exact same way. So, I mean, it's all about just opening people's minds that everybody's different, everybody looks different, everybody acts different, but you should not judge them because of that. Mm-hmm. You should not judge them because the history books said this is what happened, they were less intelligent or something like that, that's why they became slaves, or that's why there were segregation and Jim Crow laws, because then if you focus on the negativity of that period, then it's going to be in the forefront of that developing mind of kids, and they're going to think, okay, well, that's what we were taught, that's how they did it then, look how well it worked for them, they were prosperous or whatever, mm-hmm. So maybe we should continue that now.
So like having... So, like, I know, like, classes like African American history are split up between regular American history.
Yeah.
Combine them, obviously. Yeah. And then do you think, like, maybe instead of learning about slavery right off the bat, you learn about strong, like, African American leaders throughout history, and then you come back to the fact, like, oh, slavery was a thing, but obviously that was not correct.
Yes.
Do you think that would be, like, a more proper way to teach that?
I think, like, I get why we teach American history, but when we teach American history, we don't teach the truth. It's watered down. Like, we have Columbus Day. Why? Mm-hmm. It's like we celebrate Thanksgiving, but we know the truth about Thanksgiving.
Right.
We call Indians when it should be Native Americans, but we still treat them bad when they were native to this land. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're teaching our history, but we're picking and choosing what we teach, how we teach it, so it's watered down.
Do you feel like a change is happening? Like, is it getting any? Do you think like changes, like good, like positive changes are happening?
I mean, our society is just not the best, especially when our leader, our head person in charge, has very racist characteristics and can care less about it. If he can care less about how he treats and judges somebody, then others are going to be like, if our president is acting that way, it is completely okay for us to act that way.
Right. It's a culture.
Yes. Definitely culture.
Any other points you want to make?
Screen went black. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's a tough situation because of our past. And people always say, well, it happened in the past. That's not who we are. Yes, it is who we are because we still celebrate things that we shouldn't celebrate. We still have Confederate statues. We still have people walk around with Confederate flags. I get First Amendment rights. I completely understand that. But at what point do you say, that's wrong? Like, it's something has to change.
Yeah. And
change doesn't happen overnight. I mean, here we are in 2019, going into 2020, and we're still dealing with the same
Still having the same conversations.
Yes, like we're still having the same conversation. So it's like, at some point, it's frustrating. It's exhausting, especially as an African American. When I know someday when I have kids, I have to tell them, hey, you're going to have to act like this when you're around police officers or when you're around this setting because this is what's going to happen to you because you look this way, because they fear you, because they think you're lesser, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But like I say, that's the society we live in. That's our American dream, our American freedom.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.